Memento Mori. If you were a Roman soldier many millennia ago and you just survived some sort of epic battle against someone who was a barbarian trying to attack you with a big plank of wood or an axe, you'd probably reflect on how lucky you were to be alive and you'd think about Memento Mori. That's basically appreciating that at some point you're going to die, so you may as well make the most of the time that you have left. But a lot of the time, people completely waste the time that they have. They're doom scrolling or playing Candy Crush on the phone when they really should be doing more meaningful things. If you think about Memento Mori a little bit more and you apply these five principles, your ability not to completely waste your life is going to be significantly increased. The first thing is to think about not delaying what actually matters. Don't waste your time on trivial nonsense. Think about what means something to you and just get on with it. The second thing is not to think or dwell on trivial concerns, thinking about what the woman next door said about your hedge or some sort of trivial comment about the colour of the car that you picked. It's all nonsense. And in 3 or 4 years, or when you're on your deathbed, it'll mean absolutely nothing. The third thing is to use your time more deliberately. Start making a little bit of a plan. It could be a yearly plan, a decade plan, or what you're going to have for your dinner. You don't have to think too much about it, but at least have a rough plan and don't completely waste your time meandering around the supermarket with a trolley with a dodgy wheel, not knowing what you're going to eat that evening. The fourth thing is to say things that need to be said. Sometimes you might be tied up with some sort of grievance about a family member or a loved one, and perhaps you should have said something just to smooth things over and move on with your life together. But instead, you're letting it swell inside you and you've become bitter and angry, but you don't know how to vent it and you can't quite move on. And then at some point in the future, you're probably going to regret it. So you may as well just nip it in the bud and sort it out today. And the fifth and final thing is not to wait for a perfect time in your life when you've got enough time or when you've got enough money, because it's never actually going to occur. Sometimes you've just got to bite the bullet and get on with it. So, to go over those 5 points again: stop delaying what matters, don't waste your time thinking about trivial nonsense, use your time more deliberately, say things that need to be said, and don't wait for a perfect time. And if you think about Memento Mori with more conscience, you're probably going to have a better life with what you have left.